Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the prettiest of them all? Today, it isn't the evil stepmother who asks this question. Much rather, it is Snow White herself who stumbles across this devilish mirror and decides to give her fate a chance. The devil smiles wide and shows her not her own face, but someone else's. Being soft hearted and kind, she doesn't feel envious, much rather, for the first time in her life, insecure. Was she really not beautiful enough? Hello, everyone. My name is Trisha, and all I want right now is a comb and a mirror so that I can be assured that my hair actually looks fine. Just a quick question. Do all of you think my hair looks fine? Just give me a quick yes if you do. Whoa. Okay. So that was all just in my head then. Crazy. Isn't it funny how I, the one whose hair is in question, think that my hair looks completely out of place, while all of you who probably might be seeing me for the first time today think that my hair looks completely fine? Why is it that there's a mismatch between the image you hold of me and the image I hold of myself in my head? Does this mean the whole world is an illusion and nothing is real at all? That last question is completely out of my territory to be able to answer because, for one, neither am I a philosopher and nor am I, in all good faith, a science student. What I am, though, is a normal human like all the rest of you here. So what I can answer is the question I asked earlier. Why is it that there's a mismatch between the image I hold of myself and the image you hold of me? To answer that, let me dive into this short anecdote from my own life. When I was younger, I used to love posing for pictures. When I say posing for pictures, though, I don't mean just getting pictures clicked. Obviously, I like that too. But you know what I liked even more? Conjuring up new poses for every picture I took. All that naturally came to me at that moment. At that age, I did not care about people pleasing or judgment. In fact, when I'd even gone on a trip once, I'd gotten my elder sister, my parents, and everyone else on the trip to do the same poses as me for all of their photos. I did not care for anyone's kind opinions. In fact, I'd even received praise galore for my creativity. Then I grew up a little. For some strange reason, I began to like seeing my poses in the mirror before I actually did them for my photos. That little girl now started to lose herself in bits and pieces. For some strange reason again, all of my own poses started looking weird to me. Now, I no longer made my presence in photos felt by my poses. My presence in photos was lesser felt in general. Somewhere down the line, in fact, I even forgot how to pose. It all started with a single mirror. Unlike misguiding me like it did to Snow White's evil stepmother, all it did was show me a version of myself I did not like too much. Yet, it happened to be real. I began to doubt every single praise I'd received, wondering if any of them ever meant anything. This isn't just my story or the story of poses. It's the story of so many of us around the world who've just begun to lose their sense of identity because their reflection did not match their perception. They began to lose themselves in their reflections so much. But how far away can we run from that reflection? You know, back when my Instagram feed used to be a lot nicer than it is now, I had stumbled across this peculiar theory by an influencer named Abigail. She'd said that there was a theory that we humans were never actually meant to see our own faces. Strange, isn't it? At least not as often as we do in the current times. It was said that this leads to a disconnect between what we actually think of and what we seem like to ourselves. A disconnect that leads to hyper self awareness. A hyper self awareness that leads to two different kinds of extremes of issues: insecurity related or ego related. The heaviest and the most common one of them being the insecurity side of it. The insecurity related side is the one where the mind that initially perceived in its absolutely carefree state that we were perfectly all right falls in its steps as it sees that reflection and begins to question its own self. Whether we even meant by the standards that beauty was naturally meant to follow. It begins to see beauty as a concrete concept. Yet, its being concrete is terrifying because it's imperfect. And imperfect is scary. This is usually where most issues like body dysmorphia, that is, the inability to stop oneself from thinking constantly about one's perceived flaws or defects in one's appearance, often arise from. It is not seeing another person's perfections in front of us that scares us. It is seeing our own imperfections reflected right in front of us that does. So, why is it then that we always see our own beauty as something so adverse, yet a stranger would always look at it in a different light? Audience, let me ask you another question again. Have you heard of the quote, "Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder"? Have you? Okay. Today, as an answer to the question I asked, let me make my own addition to this quote. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder and the mind of the beheld. You see, oftentimes we tend to lose ourselves in the reflections so much that we begin to forget who we truly are. We lose sight of our own identity. But the last time you felt beautiful was not when the mirror told you so. It was when you truly felt that you smiled your brightest and your eyes twinkled in wonder. It was when you walked fiercely and confidently like some fierce character from a film. It was when you laughed with your head thrown back and played with your hair just for the fun of it without any hesitation. Yet, we were too busy scrutinizing that version of yourself in the mirror. I was too busy scrutinizing that version of myself in the mirror. In fact, we all are too busy scrutinizing that version of ourselves in the mirror that we think everyone else sees. Yet, like Snow White's evil stepmother, we fail to recognize that that mirror only played the devil's advocate that lived within us. Nobody else ever thought that we were not beautiful. Beauty can never be concrete. To try fixing it in a mold is to make futile attempts at shaping water. It's practically impossible. So, the next time Snow White stumbled across that mirror, she did not ask it who the most perfect or the prettiest or the most beautiful of them all was. Instead, took a deep breath, smiled, looked at that mirror, and confidently spoke, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, aren't I the most beautiful of them all?"